Well, welcome back to Mr. Obsolete's Vintage Homesteading. Today's exciting video is we're going to take our newest acquisition out here, our little Stihl 020 AV Super, and drop a tree with it. And so, anyway, it's about 35cc and made in the early 70s. Yeah, so we'll take it out and get chopping. Hey, well, we're out here in the outback. Going to be taking this tree out here. It's mostly dead. There's a little teeny bit of foliage at the very top, and the top's blown out of it like all of the ones that were in here. So anyway, we're going to have to cut this out of the way before we can drop this one. So put my gears on here and get this warmed up and be right back. Well, that came out perfect, right where I wanted it. We'll come over and take a look at the stump here. Okay, well, here's the stump. I had it a little bit wider here than here, but still went right exactly where I wanted. Like I say, the tree is mostly dead. It's completely dry through here, and there's just a teeny bit of sap right here. A little bit right through here. All the rest of this stuff is really dry, and the rings are really wide, so I'll have to count them and see how many years it is. But here's most of the wedge out of it and stuff. Came out really good. But anyway, branch it and cut it up. Looks good. Okay, well, we're back out at the tree, and what I'm going to do is finish branching it up to the point where the top blew out of it. And the branches on here, some of them are fairly big, but the whole length of the tree, basically, from this point down to the stump, very few branches on it, and they were all dead, so the only foliage is completely up at the top here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off these bigger branches and count the rings in them, and in our next video we'll figure out and take a piece of the stump off and count how many rings in it, see how old the tree is and how many years these have been growing. But since it was right up against another tree over here, the branches all just come out this way. There's none on the back side. That's from having too many trees too close to one another. So anyway, we'll get the saw warmed up and be right back. Okay, well, we're up at the top of the tree here. It blew out many, many years ago. You can see it's sheared right off, and then it's had a few branches up here with a little bit of foliage, but they say we'll check the number of rings on some of these branches, talk about it in the next video, see how old those branches are. Then we're going to go over and cut off the stump. Be right back. Okay, well, we're over at the stump. We're going to cut this off into firewood length pieces. The overall length of the tree to where I just showed you where the top was broken off was 34 feet. Then we had those other branches going out to the side because it was right here inside this tree. And behind me here you can see up and see all the dead branches and stuff, but again, they just can't grow. And down here there was a small tree growing behind it too at one point, which we took out quite some time ago. But anyway, get the saw running and be right back. I think we're low on fuel. Yep. Well, anyway, you get the idea. We're going to go over and do some other stuff here. Okay, well, we're going to have a contest between 4 of my little top handle saws. They're all from the 70s and they're all very close in displacement. Now this is only the second time that I've run this saw, so I'm still learning its little quirks and nuances. And one thing though is that, you know, just that little bit of cutting I just did, I had 3/4 of a tank of fuel in it, and it gulped it all down. This thing's a real gas hog. Anyway, it's 35.2 cc's. And just a shade under 12 pounds with a 15.5 inch bar. Next one we're going to be using here is our little Frontier F35 from 1979. It's got a 16-inch bar on it. And it weighs just a shade under 10 pounds. And our next saw here is our John Deere 40V. You know, those big fibbers at John Deere want you to think it's a 40 cc, but it's actually only 35.2 cc. On the Frontier, I forgot to say, it's 34.4 cc. Anyway, it's got a 16-inch bar on it. And this weighs 13.5 pounds. And here's my Minimac 35, an early version. Got a 14-inch bar. This weighs, I know, just a shade under 9 pounds. Yeah, 8.75 pounds. It's 32.8 cc. So anyway, like I say, we're going to have a contest. The tree we cut down, we'll get it on the sawhorse and do some time cuts. So let me know in the comments what you think, which saw is going to win. We've got one more thing to cover, so we'll be right back. Well, the last thing I wanted to talk about today is how trees have cracks in them. And I always wondered what caused it. I tried finding out information on the internet and couldn't find anything, but one of our subscribers, Logger Al, gave me the heads up on it. And here's a good example. You can see these. You can see this great big crack right through here. A little small one here. And another small one here. What it's caused from is distress when the tree is growing, because I could never figure why these cracks would be anywhere in the tree. It can be up towards the top, the middle, towards the bottom, just about anywhere. So I'll be right back here. I'm going to highlight some on this other piece here. Okay, well, you can see this one's got a substantial amount of cracks. It's got a pretty big one here, a big one here, big one running clear across here, and then a bunch of little ones around here and stuff. But the benefit of it is that it really makes splitting the wood a lot easier. Now you can see all these cracks on the top of this, and you flip it over, there aren't any. So it's just really weird. Like I say, thanks to Logger Al for the info. Now we know. Now we'll do a couple of quick splits here. So we want to find the biggest crack here and turn it to where we're going to hit it with the axe. We'll be using our Collins. And then the other crack, it runs right here. We'll go to that one. And look real careful right here. You can see where that crack comes clear down from here. Another one right there. Probably can't see it on camera, but anyway, I can see them. But anyway, just more interesting stuff about trees. So stay tuned for our little chainsaw contest. We'll see you next week. Vintage is best. Axes and chainsaws are for me. Should be for you too.